Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Sunday, January 9, 2022. Brought to you by Wilton Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with the Wilton online store. Just go to shop.wilton.com.ph. The government has been urged to raise the alert level to 4 as the number of coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 cases reached a new high on Saturday with 26,458. The latest figure surpassed 26,303 infections that were recorded in September 2021, the Department of Health or DOH said. Dr. Ron Jean Solante, a member of the country's vaccine expert panel, said there is a sustained community transmission of the highly infectious Omicron strain of the virus, which prompted him to recommend a higher alert level in areas with high transmission. Solante's recommendation comes as vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. said the government has shifted its focus to localizing its pandemic response by enhancing our barangay COVID system and educating our people on self-management and exercising their individual social responsibility of protecting themselves, their families, and communities. Galvez, chief implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19, told a virtual briefing on Saturday that this is parallel to the efforts being carried out by the national government, regional-level agencies, and local government units in inoculating the unvaccinated and further expanding the coverage of the national vaccination program. There is no need to place Metro Manila under Alert Level 4, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Jose Maria Joey Concepcion III said on Saturday, even as COVID-19 cases continue to surge in the capital region. The Department of Health or DOH reported that there are 26,458 new infections as of Saturday, surpassing the 26,303 recorded in September 2021. Concepcion issued a statement as he clarified the report, quoting him as saying that there were discussions about escalating the alert level in the National Capital Region or NCR. During the interview, Concepcion declared that he checked with some of the IATF members and there is no move towards ECQ or enhanced community quarantine at this point in time. The 150-day election period, which prescribes the calendar of activities and period of prohibited acts leading to the conduct of the upcoming May 9, 2022 national and local elections, starts today, January 9. Under Commission on Elections or COMELEC Resolution 10695, the election period will be from January 9 to June 8. The gun ban is in effect for the entirety of this period, which means bearing, carrying, or transporting firearms or other deadly weapons unless authorized in writing by the COMELEC is prohibited. The following acts are also prohibited: use of security or bodyguards by candidates unless authorized in writing by the COMELEC, organization or maintenance of reaction forces, strike forces, or other similar forces, alteration of territory of a precinct or establishment of a new precinct, transfer or movement of officers and employees in the civil service, and suspension of elective local officials. Resolution 10695, which also sets the campaign period for candidates for president, vice president, and party list groups, is from February 8 to May 7, 2022. For candidates in local elective positions, member of the House of Representatives, and regional, provincial, city, and municipal officials, campaign begins only on March 25 but also ends on May 7, 2022. Campaigning, however, is prohibited during Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday on April 14 and 15, 2022, respectively. For a period of 1 month from April 10 to May 9, 2022, overseas voters may cast their votes in the Philippine embassies, consulates, and other posts pursuant to the overseas absentee voting system. Campaigning abroad, however, is prohibited during this period. Local absentee voters have 3 days to vote on April 27, 28, and 29, 2022. The last day to file an application to be a local absentee voter is on March 7, 2022. Lawyer and Kilusan Bagong Lipunan or KBL Senatorial Beth Lorenzo Larigadon on Saturday said he would push for reforms in the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution if elected. Gadon expressed his confidence that he would make it to the Magic 12, citing the revival of the KBL, political party founded in the 1970s by the late President Ferdinand Adrian Marcos. Gadon said his participation in the 2016 and 2019 national elections has been instrumental in the resurgence of the KBL as a political force. Gadon finished 27th with 2.16 million votes in 2016 and 28 with more than 1 million votes in 2019. He said Marcos loyalists vowed to support his candidacy and adopted BBM, the presidential bet of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, as their candidate for president. Gadon said that if elected, his priority would be economic reform, citing the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic that include unemployment, closure of businesses, and an additional debt amounting to 11.7 trillion pesos. President Duterte has authorized a memorandum authorizing the reduction of the number of employees required to physically show up in the government offices depending on the alert level implemented in their areas. Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, acting on behalf of the President, signed Memorandum Circular 94 on Friday. The circular provides requirements and procedures for reducing the number of on-site workers in government offices to allow the public continuous access to services. For the first time in more than 200 years, the minor Basilica of the Black Nazarene, popularly known as KUWTT Church, has cancelled both the traditional translation and the celebration of Holy Masses in honor of the miraculous image to avoid COVID-19 infections. KUWTT Church Parochial Vicar Father Douglas Badong said over the week that the cancellation of translation or the Black Nazarene procession and masses in the church was in compliance with the rules of the government's COVID-19 task force, which prohibited mass gathering. Amid the closure of KUWTT Church due to the surge in coronavirus cases in Manila, Archbishop Jose Cardinal Advincula called on Black Nazarene devotees to show their devotion by caring for others. Like the government, Advincula said the church is also concerned about the rapid increase in the COVID-19 cases in the country, especially in Metro Manila. He echoed the concerns of the government that the Black Nazarene festivities, which usually draw millions of devotees, will further aggravate the pandemic situation. The government's COVID-19 task force has earlier ordered the closure of the KUWTT Church from January 8 to 9, the Feast of the Black Nazarene, to prevent devotees from crowding. 5 individuals were hurt in a fire that razed the Alabang Star Mall in Muntinlupa City at dawn Friday, the local Bureau of Fire Protection or BFP said. Fire Officer 3 Lester Hill Calibo told reporters that the fire started at the lower ground floor but the cause was still unknown. The fire raised an estimated 100 million pesos. Calibo said there were a total of 226 responding fire trucks deployed to help extinguish the fire, 59 BFP personnel and 167 fire volunteers, 6 ambulances from the BFP and 3 volunteers. The local fire bureau earlier affirmed that the blaze, which broke out at about 3 a.m., was still raging as of 6 p.m. The fire also reached Task Force Alpha at 7:46 a.m., a level which requires several fire trucks to respond. The first alarm was raised at 3:40 a.m., the second alarm was raised at 4:03 a.m., and the third at 4:49 a.m. Muntinlupa City Mayor Jaime de la Rosa Fresnedi visited the fire scene. Over the business, Agriculture Secretary William Dar appealed anew to Filipino consumers to avoid panic buying, assuring that the country has enough food supply. He made a call as the government imposes stricter movement, particularly in Alert Level 3 areas, to prevent and reduce COVID-19 infections. In a statement, Dar said buying more food than required deprives others, causing an artificial shortage and price spikes. In sports, while Filipino World Boxing Council or WBC bantamweight champion Nonito Donaire previously stated that his main goal was to unify all the belts in the 118-pound division, the Filipino Flash said he is open to going down in the 115-pound class. Donaire said he is willing to face the winner of the super flyweight match between Juan Francisco Estrada and Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez on March 5. Estrada will be defending his Ring Magazine championship and WBA title in the bout. Our front page columnist today is Marlon Ronquillo. He ponders on when market preference rejects a state mandate. Today's editorial discusses the latest nuclear launch of North Korea. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and keep up with the Times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Dumapi.